What about 21 Jump
Street?
Street?
You people.
How was working with Channing Tatum? How was it?
All right.
Well, pretty cool.
Are all council members? Are we ready to proceed?
Defense is ready, Your Honor.
Defense is ready. Prosecution, are you ready?
Yeah, we're gonna go.
All right. All right. At this time, we are going to proceed. Damn. We're going to proceed with defense at this time.
Right, defense is going to be recalling Gregory, sorry, was that it? Johnson, Mr. Johnson to the stand.
All right. You have already been sworn in, but the statement still stands.
Here we go.
Pains and penalties of perjury.
All right.
Oh, fuck. Lower your volume,
Mr.
boys.
Johnson, thank you very much for staying with us, by the way. I know this has been a while. Just want to thank you for your patience. I just want to go back
Volume warning.
sort of to our previous questioning when you were under direct from the prosecution. You did witness Mr. K incapacitated and, I'm sorry, let me rephrase. Did you witness Mr. K incapacitated and handcuffed?
You say incapacitated and...
Let me rephrase that for you. Was
Sure
he on the
yelling.
ground injured and handcuffed?
To the best of my knowledge, I know he was injured. I believe at some point he was handcuffed.
All right. Does an incapacitated person present
Yo,
a
Prime,
risk
what
to
up, bro?
officer safety?
Hope you've been good, man.
To the best of my knowledge, no.
What could a incapacitated person physically do that could impact officer safety?
By their shoelaces, I'm not 100.
Asked and answered. He said no, Your Honor.
I'll rebut. I literally rephrased the question to ask for a different. It's calling for a different answer from the first question, so it would not be asked and answered.
Rebuttal.
I stand by that. He said no, so asking about what instances that could happen is covered under no.
You know what?
What?
No, you know what? Love that. Love what you just said. Can you just say that one more time so I can make sure I understand?
Oh my God.
The answer to your second question was covered under the answer to his first question with no.
So the no incapacitated people don't present a risk to officer safety.
Awesome.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and withdraw.
Thank
No
you.
more questions for this witness.
Wow, thank you so much.
Holy.
Thank you.
Where'd
hey.
Oliver go, guys?
Mr.
Oh, there he
Johnson.
is.
Hold on. Let me gather myself here. Give me a
I
second.
know that was a big one, Your Honor.
Doing great, Oliver. Doing great. Dude.
You go stand right by the L slacks. Perfect. Yeah, go take that with you. Hey, Slacks just arrested this man.
That's
for no
crazy.
reason.
Arresting
What the hell?
Xavier is crazy.
What the?
Integrity, by the way.
Xavier
That's
has
what they did
integrity.
to me. That's what they did to me.
Front cuffing.
All right. Well, don't remember Heary, man. Heary, you said it yourself. All right.
I'll chill.
I've gathered myself. I didn't drink my water.
Dude, I fucking love Saab,
You
bro.
may proceed with your cross.
Thank you. Mr. Johnson, I mean, you would agree with me that an armed person presents a threat to officer
hold
safety?
on.
Objection
Pause.
scope.
Why are you looking at Mr. K?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what was that, Your Honor?
I feel
Why are
very
you looking at
uncomfortable
Mr.
and
K?
threatened.
Address the witness and the witness only.
Oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor. I was just looking at a guilty man, is all.
You're
Wow!
right.
Objection, Your Honor. Innocent
Oh,
until proven guilty.
objection,
Violation of due process.
Objection.
What the fuck?
Terrible joke.
Jesus Christ, man.
Ridiculous. This is very serious. Someone's life's on the fucking line here.
Let me make it clear.
boys, come here.
Objection
As-
on a banter.
What? Who are?
Ramee, come here for a second.
Boys,
Calm down.
come here,
Who
come here,
are
come
you?
here.
Calm
Who
down,
are you? Yeah.
please.
Who is? Anyone know
Let
this guy?
me run my court, man. Thank you, Mr. Hall. You, as a counselor, are to refer to the
K-
witness and the
K has a
witness
warrant.
and me.
These cops tried doing some dumb shit. Interfere, start tackling. You know,
Xavier just told me that they're heard Slacks gearing them, getting the police ready.
okay,
So
make
they're
it, let
arresting
everybody
them.
know. Let everybody know.
I told Taco. I told
we gotta
him.
ride out of here, though. We need something
You
quick.
want me to get Ming? I got a ride.
Yeah. Do what you gotta do, Solo.
Do I get Ming?
Yeah.
We don't need an
No, you
audio
are not.
engineer.
Your Honor, I would like to motion to enter Oliver Hall under oath to answer this question, as I do not find his statement to be credible.
No,
You okay,
we're-
Slacks?
We are going to proceed, Mr. Hall. I do not want to see that ever again. Okay.
Oh, certainly, Your Honor.
As
My apologies.
as someone who is a counselor of this, you should be well informed
He's a
that
council
you are
member?
to be addressing the witness
No,
and
no,
me.
no.
That is all you can
Oh.
do on the floor. So if you are asking a question on the floor, you are to address only the people on the floor. No,
Absolutely, Your Honor. That is,
Noted.
of course, noted.
You may continue with your questioning.
Oh my God,
What
where's
was the answer to
Molten?
that question, Mr. Johnson?
I'm also. I'm sorry. I'm going to be honest right now, Your Honor. I'm going to motion to dismiss with prejudice based on obvious malicious prosecution based on Oliver Hall's statements.
I'd like to also fire a bar complaint against Oliver Hall as well, Your Honor.
Yeah, is Lance Moulton here?
Ramee?
Lance?
Ramee,
Yes, Your Honor. Sorry.
you are one away. You are
All right,
one
sir.
away.
Of course, sir. Yes, sir.
Keep it in check. All right, to the motion, rebuttal.
Yeah, again, saying that the defendant is guilty is sort of the point of this trial. So I don't know how that's malicious prosecution. It'd only be malicious prosecution if we were proceeding with this trial without probable cause, when there is probable cause. The gun was found on its person. So,
Objection.
again,
He's
I'm
calling
not
for a legal
entirely sure.
conclusion on what malicious prosecution is when that's your job, Your Honor.
Mm-hmm. I think he thinks
Sorry,
he's
I'm
the judge,
rebutting.
Your
I'm
Honor.
not quite sure why I'm being interrupted, to be honest with you.
Your
but,
Honor, I think he's
again-
confused with his position.
Sorry, I think I was still
It's
talking.
okay. You are also one away. Do
Sorry,
not
I
talk.
bad hearing. I couldn't hear him still talking, Your Honor. My bad.
Okay. Refocus your hearing. Get that hearing aid. Something. I need to get it together. All right.
would like to
Please
do another
continue
vote,
with
but
your
it's
rebuttal
probably
since you
gonna
said
be
you weren't
interrupted.
finished.
Yeah, certainly. The defense is just grasping at straws. There is no legitimate basis for this motion to dismiss, so it should be denied.
Rebuttal for that.
I will just look at the tweets that are going off right now.
Molten, God, glad you're here, Molten. Glad you're glad.
Rebuttal for Miss Siobhan. Any
Sorry, I didn't
rebuttal
hear.
to-
Can you say it again? Sorry, I didn't hear because Lance was talking and I got distracted.
Lance.
What was it?
You may continue. Yes, please with your rebuttal to the motion, Counselor Howell.
Oh, that was it, Your Honor. I was just saying.
Can you repeat it again for Mr.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There is no legitimate basis for this motion. The defense is just grasping at straws, so the motion should be denied.
Wow. Okay. Defense is not grasping at straws. Defense is doing its job of ensuring due process, Your Honor, is being followed, and calling a man who is innocent until proven guilty quite literally flies in the face of everything about the judicial process and displays obvious bias.
Do you want me to respond to that, Your Honor?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and rule as this being more of a heat of passion moment. Mr. Hall,
Classic.
I'm gonna need you to try to remain professional in this court as much as possible. I understand that you have, you have moments. It's okay to have moments, but I am going to call you out on those moments, just the same as I will call Siobhan out on those moments. So please refrain from directing your attention away from anybody other than me and the witness. Okay.
Absolutely, Your Honor.
Siobhan, that motion is not going to be heard.
Thank you, Your Honor.
But I again want to make it a strong note that both parties are only to be referring to me and the witness that they have called upon. Noted.
Certainly, Your Honor. Absolutely. I just want to say that I wouldn't dare, and I actually would ask that you keep me honest here. I mean, our side's the one with integrity is all. All right, so Mr. Johnson, would you like me to repeat that question?
Yes, please.
Yeah, certainly. Would you agree with me that an individual that's armed presents a danger to officers?
No.
You wouldn't agree.
I would not.
Why not?
Just because a person is on doesn't mean they're dangerous.
True. True and
All right,
real.
Does an armed person present a potential risk to officer safety?
Does that-
Objection, speculation.
Does that mean
Literally said the word
cops
potential.
are dangerous or whatever?
Well, Your Honor,
Rebuttal.
yeah, I'm not asking the witness to come to a conclusion on any particular facts. I'm just asking him more so hypothetical questions, as the defense has been doing, about whether or not an armed suspect could potentially pose a risk to officer safety.
final response for me. Keyword hypothetical.
Yep, you said about 3 different words that could mean speculative answers. You could rephrase it, just keep it without saying the words could, hypothetical, potential. Any of that could lead to some speculation. All right, that's going to be sustained, but you can re-ask that question.
All right, thank you, Your Honor. Nothing further.
I want to re-ask that question.
No, that's all right. Thank you, Judge.
Okay.
No redirect.
Nothing on redirect. All right, Mr. Johnson, you are free to leave at this time. Thank you for your input to the for the hearing today.
Amen.
They're gonna call me
Amen.
up right now.
Amen.
The defense calls Romeo Roman to the stand.
That's my lawyer.
All right, since it's you, Ramee, I'm not going to finish eating this pretzel before swearing you in. Raise your left hand, please.
Okay. Give me a second. Let me just take a seat here.
Oh, yeah, go. Oh.
Please speak up too. That's all.
Oh, yeah, speak up, Ramee.
Of course.
All right,
There you
Ramee,
go.
raise your left hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you Buddha.
Yes, I do.
All right.
I'm
You're
kidding.
sworn.
I'm kidding.
All right.
Hold on, pause.
Yeah.
Before we begin, Mr. Ramee,
Yes, Your Honor.
if that chair breaks on you while you're sitting on it like
oh,
that,
shit,
you
I
are
didn't even
paying
realize
for it.
that. Hold on. Sorry, Your Honor. Sorry. Wait, you saying call me fat, Your Honor, or what?
I did not mention that. That is to you to assume.
Who the fuck said that? It was probably Oliver.
That's
It
crazy.
wasn't
Hey,
me.
who said that?
Fucking
That's what
Oliver.
I said.
Probably.
Sounded like
Oh my
Taco.
god.
I said what I said.
Fucking. Taco? Oh,
It's Taco.
That's rich, Taco. That's rich.
Yes, sir.
Do not find yourself in violation of contempt of court, okay?
Rich beer. Rich
can't-
beer.
Fucking sit in this
Your Honor,
chair.
maybe for the peanut
Can't sit in this
galleries
dumbass chair, bro.
awareness, could we have what contempt will be starting at today? Made public for the court's record.
Mm-hmm. If I have to give you more than one warning, or if you
Bro,
continue on
what the
past that one
fuck
warning,
is this, bro?
let's set the bar at 50 months, $5,000 fine.
50 months, $5,000?
For contempt of course, yes.
Thank you,
if
Your
I
Honor.
have to repetitively deem you in violation, you will be sentenced as such.
Oh, for sure.
Fantastic.
Just, sorry, I'm just trying to sit in this chair.
Stand on business, Your Honor.
Trying to sit in this chair, Your Honor. Sorry.
Does this guy not know how to work a chair?
All right, I'll just stand right here, guys.
All right, speak up, Romy.
All right. Okay.
All right.
Too close.
All right, sorry. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Did you personally witness the events indicated in Police Report 2026 in evidence?
Yes, I did. Yes, I actually did.
Okay, as your statement was notoriously absent from the initial police report, can you tell the court what you saw transpire?
Yeah. Me and Mr. K were headed over to the hospital, and we saw.
Objection. Calls for narrative.
Holy fuck.
Rebut.
Holy fuck.
I'm
Oh.
simply asking for him to tell us what he saw on scene per the report in evidence to clarify exactly what the. You know what? It is narrative. I'm gonna go ahead and rephrase. I'll ask a new question. All right.
All right, sounds good. I do want to mention that I see what's happening. That before we had an objection to narrative that went similar to this. However, I do want to also articulate that because she kind of opened up the scope a little bit by mentioning the report reference before, that it is lying some way of narrative. However, I would have recommended that you would have stopped it at least a little bit later on than what you did. You did kind of do early, which is fine. It is still narrative. It's still calling for a narrative, but you could have let that happen a little bit, let it simmer, see what Ramee said, and then cut him off at a point. It's all about using your objections in a way that would benefit you, right? All right. So with that being said, that is going to be sustained. You may rephrase.
Great, thank you, Your Honor. Ramee, were you on scene during the events in Police Report 2026?
Yes, I was.
Where were you and Mr. K located during the event?
On scene.
Okay.
fuck? Like, what?
Were you injured?
Objection. Answer. Vague.
What the hell? Can I just get my test?
Rebuttal.
Asking if somebody was injured or not is not vague.
Referring to the where were you on scene? Answer on scene.
Oh, that was already answered to. Too late. That's my rebuttal.
Your Honor, I believe I objected in
Can I just
time to
give my-
that and motion to strike.
Oh, so we're doing this.
Wait, this is
So we're going-
what,
so
is this what
are
we're
we-
doing?
Ramee.
Pointless.
Also, do you want to catch diarrhea, sir? I recommend that you stand back. I was
Actually,
just,
I don't
I
mind.
was just.
Jokes on you. I like that shit. Wait, go ahead. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Are we?
Your Honor, motion to strike Ramee's last statement.
I didn't want to write that.
I don't want that
down.
on the record.
Jokes
I don't
on
want to
you, I
think
like
about
that
it.
shit.
He said I like that shit.
Yeah, can we remove that?
Sure, I didn't write it
Thank
down.
you.
So are we objecting to the last question, the last answer to the question asked before? Are we
The were
asking
you
to
injured
the...
or the one before that? Yeah.
The on scene.
She's gonna object every
The
question,
on-scene
directed
question.
objection.
because she doesn't want me answering the question.
Okay, and
Just ask me what.
so what are we?
What
we're
happened?
Objecting to confusing, too vague.
Vague, Your Honor.
Yes, but he can do that. I'll say yes, but the it's not going to be stricken because that's what he said. And I don't find that needing to be stricken from the record at this time. That is going to be sustained. However, it is still going to be put onto the docket past that. So basically, if he said on scene, period.
Great. Thank you, Your Honor. Were you injured on scene?
Yes.
Was Mr. K injured?
Yes.
What did the individuals do to injure yourself or Mr. K?
They shot Mr. K.
Okay. And what happened after Mr. K was injured?
They point.
Sorry,
They
I had
point.
to clear my throat.
They pointed guns at me and tried taking me hostage.
Okay. And are incapacitated people able to stop an individual from rifling through their pockets?
No.
Okay. Let me just double check with my client, Your Honor, and my paralegal.
Her questioning was pretty ass. She's also trying to keep the scope, you know? She has to ask me on the possession of the gun, dude.
Did you see any individuals go through Mr. K's pockets?
Yes.
When police arrived on scene, did you attempt to tell them what had transpired?
Yes.
How did those attempts go?
I told Johnson that these people were taking me hostage and they robbed him and they were going through Mr. K's pockets. Mr. Johnson then went and tried chasing the people that were on because they were on scene still when the cops arrived and they fled the scene. And then Johnson went to go chase them, and then that's when Slacks and Ruth came on scene.
Okay. All right, thank you. So to make it
Yeah.
clear, you remained on scene and tried to report what had transpired to
Correct.
officers and other people fled?
Yes.
Okay.
Chat, shut the fuck up. Oh my god. Nobody's
All right,
overcooking or nothing, bro.
No further questions for the witness at this time, Your Honor. We cede to cross.
Nobody's
All
fucking
right,
overcooking or
cross.
selling. Like, relax. Oh, here we go. Fucking Oliver, dude.
Hey, Mr. Ramen, how's it going?
Objection relevance. Scope.
I can't believe. I
told you, gloves off.
Counselor Thoroughbred, you were just going for blood. These people are not even going for blood on you. This isn't
I
even
know.
like a tit for a tat. This is just
I
for
know.
a tit.
I'm defending my client to the best of my
My
ability, Your
life's on the
Honor.
line, Your Honor.
Jesus. All right, whatever. Sustained.
All right, I just want to clarify a few things. So you gave a statement to law enforcement, did you not?
Yes.
All right, and you told him everything happened, didn't you?
Objection scope. Also asked and answered? Yeah, objection asked and answered because we already discussed that.
Well, Your Honor, I guess I'll go on both of the objections. Asked and answered per party, and we haven't asked him this particular question yet. And scope, he was already asked just in the prior question about the statement he gave to law enforcement, so it would be within scope. And they also asked him about the questioning and the statement that he gave, and asking him if he was if he told law enforcement everything that happened would just be an expansion upon any previous question that was asked. So this particular question hasn't been asked.
You're whispering.
Your Honor, I can't hear you.
Oops, rebuttal.
Rebuttal is that no, in the interest of expediency, given that we generally have a witness limit for cases, so that things do not last 9 million years, I do not find that the idea that asked and answered is per party rather than per witness to be credible or accurate. And I will maintain that objection. I will, however, withdraw the scope one, but I will keep asked and answered in the interest of expediency with which way that we do law in Los Santos.
Okay, I'm actually a fan of that argument. I want to say first, I am a fan of that argument. We want to try to expedite things as much as possible. This case has already gone on for 2.5 hours. We still have a couple of defendants to go through, or a defense witness to go through. However, I do believe that the scope was already kind of enhanced, even though that was objection. I do believe that it was enhanced with the prior question.
That's why I withdrew it.
And then the asked and answered, I do want to see. So I will overrule it to a certain point. I will give you a cutoff point. How about
Thank
that?
you, Your Honor.
I will
Thank
give
you,
you a
Your
cutoff
Honor.
point for that. So go ahead and ask the question again and then answer it.
Sure. Now, Mr. Araman, you told law enforcement everything that happened. Isn't that right?
Yes.
And they fully wrote down their statement, did they not?
No.
No. We'll
No.
get into that. I want to ask you, so where were you when the shooting took place?
Objection scope.
Rebuttal.
Ugh. Yeah, so the questions that were asked on direct had to do directly with the scene. And the witnesses already testified that he was with the defendant at the time. So asking him where exactly he was when the shooting took place would be within scope.
Rebuttal.
Oliver tried to object to this line of questioning before, so I'm really confused as to why he's trying to go down it now. It's really confusing.
I feel uncomfortable, Your Honor.
Thank you for feeling uncomfortable. I'll say I get the argument. I get the argument that's being made. You're trying to get this down on his line of questioning as opposed to any other questioning because he is in direct purview. You want it to get straight to the source.
Gotcha, thank you.
I am going to overrule because I also want to get down to the source. And I do think the scope was opened a little bit when he did talk about shooting of K. Was he injured himself? Was who else was shot? Him saying K. That was answered in the previous scope. And we are treating this as a per witness thing, not a per party thing. So I will open up the scope a little bit and allow this.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yep,
Your Honor,
no problem.
you need to repeat that question for you, sir?
Yeah.
Certainly. Where were you when the shooting took place?
Unseen.
Where on scene?
Why were you on scene, damn it?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yeah, where on scene?
In front of the house.
Okay, and how did you get there?
Of a car.
All right, what car did you drive there in?
Relevance? I don't recall, actually.
All right, were you ever in that red vehicle on scene?
I don't remember.
Okay, and how did the defendant get there?
Car?
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm actually going to object on confusing when he says there. Where is he referring to now?
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, what does he mean? Get there? Where? Like the red car? Another car? What car? I'm confused.
I don't need to hear
He said he
arguments for
doesn't
this.
remember what car.
You can clarify this. I don't need to hear arguments that will be sustained. Just tell me where.
How did the defendant get to the scene?
What?
In a car.
Which car?
Don't remember. We were in a car. I don't fucking remember.
You were in a car?
Siobhan, you want to fucking say
Did
something?
you drive there with the defendant?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yeah, did you drive there with the defendant?
No, I did not drive. No.
Okay. All right. And so you were in front of the house when the shooting happened, is that
All
right?
right, I know he's allowed to lead, Your Honor, but I'm going to object that he has not asked a single question that is not leading.
Your Honor, I can ask all the leading questions I want, is my rebuttal.
Who said that? Rebuttal?
Literally, it is every single question leading. It is mind-numbing.
I
Also,
tend to.
I'll throw in one more objection. He's being argumentative.
What the hell are you guys saying in chat right now?
I'll tend to agree with the leading.
I'm making
we
Oliver
say
work.
that you
Y'all
can
fucking
lead in
like
cross,
going crazy
yes.
in chat
However,
right now. Calm down,
can
chat.
means that you also have the ability to get objected upon it.
I'm literally making him work. I'm
and
trying to
you have
outlaw him.
asked a
He's trying to
total
do
of
stupid shit back to me because I know Oliver. Y'all being fucking way
10.
too dramatic right now.
9. I'm not counting right now. You asked a lot of questions that were pretty much leading, which I understand where you're trying to get to. Let's try to cut it off at some point. Let's try to make it a more roundabout question, okay, as related to scope. So I understand what you're going for. You answered a lot. You got a lot there already. I'm going to cut you off there. That is going to be succinct.
Certainly. I'm happy to move on. What's your relationship with the defendant?
One of my clients.
Objection, relevance?
Oh fuck.
Rebuttal.
It don't matter.
Relevance.
Also
certainly.
scope. Sorry, I'm going to say relevance on scope. Sorry, apologies.
I don't need
just
to hear
wanted
an
bring
argument
both
on
up.
scope.
Yeah,
That was
you're
not
right.
asked in the questionings, in the direct questioning.
I'm sorry. Would you like me to respond, Your Honor? I'm sorry. I didn't quite
No.
understand.
I don't need to hear anything about that. That was not in scope. Period. Nothing about relationships between individuals were asked in
There we
the
go.
direct. If you wanted to ask that question, you should have called him as a witness.
Bro.
Okay, certainly, Your Honor. All right.
And let me say this: if you can find another way to get there, try to do that, because I assume that you had a major part of your questioning as it relates to that. However, I suggest that you try to get somewhere with that if you are still trying to go down
certainly.
that path.
All right. Did you see the defendant get shot?
Yes, I did.
All right. How did you feel once he got shot?
Scared for my life.
All right. Were you upset that he was shot?
Objection, relevance?
About time, fucking Siobhan.
Rebuttal.
Holy shit.
Yeah, certainly, Your Honor. I'm getting at the witness's feelings and relationship to the defendant. So asking him his response to how the defendant was shot certainly is relevant in respect to the witness's credibility, which is what I'm getting at.
Wow, I'm going to add an scope objection then.
Well, you want me to respond, Your Honor?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's certainly within scope. The questions that I just asked laid a proper foundation to expand the scope, and asking him a question about the scene and how he felt about the scene, experiencing it, is within scope.
One final response. Facts don't care about feelings.
And that's facts, Your Honor.
That is
undead
facts.
Stilio.
However, feelings can care about facts, or feelings are relevant to facts.
Seeing everyone.
When we're talking about the statute of
Yeah.
mens rea specifically, about motive, about questioning why somebody did something, that is all about feeling. That is pretty relevant here. And I think the scope was broadened when he asked.
I was reading a
before in the
comment.
prior question, which wasn't argued
Thunder.
to, or which wasn't objected to, which he asked how did he feel about the defendant being shot. I feel like this is a great opening for him to open to what was objected before, and I'm going to allow it.
All
Thank
right,
you,
I'm
Your
going to
Honor.
throw in one more objection then.
Okay.
Compound question.
How did you feel about the defendant getting shot? I don't think that's a compound question, Your Honor.
Oh shit, you guys actually right. I misheard what he
Okay.
said initially. That was my bad. I'm going to withdraw.
That is the first time I've heard compound question in this case, and I've heard maybe about
So many.
10?
I got away with so many.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah, that is going to be overruled. You may ask him the question again.
All right, do you need me to repeat that for you, Mr. Ramee?
Of course.
Certainly. How did you feel about the defendant getting shot?
Well, like any normal human being, you see somebody get shot, you get scared for your life and fearful.
Were you upset that he got shot?
Yeah, anybody who gets shot, if you take joy in that, you're a fucking psychopath.
Okay. And were you upset because of the relationship you had with the defendant?
Whoa, okay, at this point I am going to again I'm gonna object on scope and relevance. Also badgering.
Rebuttal?
Yeah, I think it was scope, relevance, and badgering. I don't know how that's badgering. Asking him if he was upset because of his relationship with the defendant. I don't know how that's badgering. I'm not being abrasive with this witness. I'm trying to understand his point of view. As to relevance, again, the credibility of this witness is inherently relevant in this matter. And his relationship, particularly as the attorney of the defendant, of course, lends some question to his credibility, which is what I'm getting at here.
Your Honor,
Wow.
Your
The
Honor,
scope has been opened,
Shh, Rami, wait 1 second.
and the scope has been opened because I'm asking him questions
question got-
related to how he felt about the defendant, and again, expanding into his relationship and why that relationship affects his feelings for the defendant getting shot is within scope.
All right, I got one response, Your Honor, just
Mhm.
one. All right. Rami is a certified member of the Bar Association, and he is not on trial here. If Mr. Hall wants to proceed down this line of questioning, and try to fuck over, sorry for my language, Your Honor, try to screw over another member of the Bar Association and destroy their credibility on the stand, then we might as well not have lawyers in Los Santos, and that this is highly prejudicial. There's no standing for it, and it's also just unprofessional.
Yep, that's fact, and that's facts, Your Honor.
Can I respond, Your Honor? There was another
He's
objection.
treating me
there
the
to
same way he
prejudice.
treated Murphy, Your Honor.
Oh, damn.
Go ahead. Go ahead and respond.
Thank you. Yeah. So as far as the defendant's or the witness's career, rather, asking him questions about, again, whether or not he is credible based on his relationship to the defendant, that's not going to inherently destroy his career. But, working and being employed by the defendant would certainly be motive to lie for him on the stand.
I never
And we're
said
not
that I
at
was
point
his
where-
lawyer.
Wow!
I'm sorry.
we
Well,
go
we're going to
again.
get to
Here we
that,
go
sir,
again,
and
Your
there's
Honor,
a
with the
pending
guilty
objection.
stuff. The line.
No,
But,
she
as I
already
was
objected to
saying-
it. She already objected to it, and it got sustained.
As I'm saying, the relationship between the witness and the defendant, again, being an attorney-client, is definitely relevant to his credibility, and that's what I'm getting at.
So you're
Okay,
trying
there's
to
no
discredit
prejudice.
me
Okay,
on
okay,
trial.
and-
It's
and at
literally
this
exactly what
point-
she just
at
said.
Rami.
Well, Your Honor, my
Rami.
integrity and my job here is at risk, Your Honor. I'm not going to sit
Integrity.
here and sit here and have Flax's lapdog come at me and try to question my integrity.
Hey, Rami, answer me this. When we were just talking about, you just referred to Slacks, actually. When Slacks was up on the stand and we were talking about his credibility, he said hero, whatever. Was that ever put into question? Did he need to respond to that? Did he need to respond to that personally?
I'm gonna be real. I don't know what the hell you just asked me. I'm gonna keep it a stack.
When he was talking about his
I'm keeping
integrity
it-
and that he was being not gonna lie, he was being laughed at for what he
Mhm.
said about his integrity and
But-
his honesty
right.
and all that. Did he
Mhm.
feel the need to clarify upon
Yes,
that?
he needed to because he's on the prosecution. I'm a victim in this situation as well.
I'm just going to point out this time,
But
Your Honor,
you're
that
not
Rami
on-
is a witness. He is not a defendant in this matter.
This is a victim statement as well as a witness statement, Your Honor.
Neither
And I-
people. What I'm trying to get to is that neither people were on trial, so neither comments needed to be heard. So I'm going to put it into the same purview as how we treated Slacks is how we're going to treat you, Mr. Rami. I'm a fan of everybody getting the same treatment. If Slacks got laughed at for his hero, whatever,
Fuck.
we're gonna laugh at you for your credibility of the bar. However, that does not
alright.
respond to the objections being stated. Relevance. We had like 4 different objections.
What the fuck?
Relevance overruled. Scope
What the
overruled.
fuck?
Prejudice. That this is what I'm going to focus on. Prejudice. I do agree. I do agree with Counselor Thoroughbred.
Thank you.
Ramee's not the one on trial here. We're not subjected to putting his credibility under any stand view here. I do see where Mr. Hall is coming from. However, I do not think it's sufficient enough at this time. I think not only was he, again, this was not direct questioning. This is not put into his direct questioning. This was cross as it relates to the questions that were asked beforehand by Mrs. Thoroughbred. Sorry. I'm always
It's
going
okay.
to say
It's
that.
okay. It's okay. You'll get used to it. I
Yeah.
still fuck up sometimes too, Your Honor. Thank you.
Yeah, by Miss Thoroughbred. I do not think that at this point we need to go any further with that. If you wanted to ask that line of questioning, you should have done so and called upon him as a witness. So I'm going to sustain that objection. That question, those types of questions will not be asked.
Yeah, I'm happy to move on, Your Honor. Yeah, so let's clarify a little bit. You said that you saw some things like these individuals trying to kidnap you, search the defendant and put something on him. Where was the defendant at that point?
That was like 5 questions. Can you repeat it?
Yeah, where was the defendant located when these kidnappers were rummaging through his pockets?
In the car.
He was in the car, and was he in the driver's seat?
Don't remember.
Okay, and where? First off, can you describe the individual that was rummaging?
Yeah, it was Jaeger, Mary Mushkin, actually Barry Svensson, and then 3 other masked individuals.
But did all of them do it, or was it one individual rummaging?
I don't know the one that was rummaging. They split up in kidnapping me and going through Mr. K's pockets.
Okay,
It was a
and where
group
were you
collective
at that
effort.
point?
I was getting taken hostage.
Okay, where on the scene were you getting taken hostage?
I had a gun pointed to me, and I was out on the sidewalk and getting escorted into their car.
Okay, so you were facing away from the
No.
red vehicle.
Objection, Your Honor. Mischaracterization of testimony.
True.
I don't need to hear a rebuttal on that. I just don't like that line of questioning. That's going to be sustained just because I don't
What
like that.
the?
You had a fly on your
Hey,
back.
Mickey!
Mickey just saved my life.
Everybody
Sorry,
okay?
Your Honor. I'm okay.
All right. Mickey, don't punch her.
Murphy, you
Just
got chips on you?
I
All right, yeah, I don't like that questioning. Just try to do it a little better. I know what you're going for. Try to do it better.
Yeah, I certainly can try, Your Honor.
Try your best.
So, Mr. Araman, if you can clarify, what individual was holding you up?
You just asked me the same question. I already told you.
But can you repeat your answer?
Yeah, can you repeat the question?
Yeah, what specific individual, if you can describe him, was holding you up?
Objection,
At
Your
the
Honor. Asked and
sidewalk.
answered.
Finally.
Rebuttal.
Well, the witness's testimony was that the 3 individuals were all splitting up, doing their own sort of thing on the scene. So asking him specifically who was holding him hostage is not a question that's already been asked.
I'm gonna object on his rebuttal, the mischaracterization of testimony. He said there were 6 individuals, 3 he could name, 3 who were in masks. I thought it was very clear from his testimony.
Okay. I agree with Miss Thoroughbred on that notion, as that he specifically said Jaeger, Barry, Mary, and that 3 other were masked. However, I do want to hear this specifically, and I don't think it was a mischaracterization of evidence or it was asked and answered. That any individual specifically was holding him up. So I'm going
Thank
to
you, Your Honor.
please answer the question.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You asked the question again?
Yeah, I'm happy to. What specific individual? Please provide a description of the individual that was holding a gun to you.
Yeah. Mary Mushkin and Jaeger or Kane Larp, whatever his name is.
Okay.
And they weren't
right.
masked.
Okay, I getcha. And so while that was happening, I guess I just want to clarify. So, where was the individual rummaging through the defendant's pockets positioned?
At the car.
Were they inside the car?
Relevance of this fucking thing. Hello? Oh my god. I don't recall actually, but yeah, they were on him and they were going through his pockets, rummaging through his pockets.
So you can't recall where they were rummaging from. Is that right?
Objection, Your Honor. Weird.
Holy fuck! Finally, dude. He's trying
Wait,
to say that you
objection,
can't
let's
rob
keep the
people in
mechanics to
cars.
Mosley's.
Literally. Holy fuck. He's arguing game mechanics, chat.
Yeah. We'll go ahead and say weird.
I was waiting for that one.
Yeah. Let's try to keep the rummaging to what we can see. Okay.
No, listen, I hear you, Honor. I'm just trying to figure out where the person was and exactly who.
We've
they
already
were.
established that 5 times already.
Your Honor, I don't believe objection weird is on the list of sheet of objection I got. Can you tell me what that is?
Weird is what happens when we find something that we don't like, that we just get a little too.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Thank you, Honor.
You're welcome. All right. Yeah, you can rephrase that though. I think you can rephrase that, and you can make it into a not weird argumentation. But that one specifically is going to be weird.
Okay, certainly, Your Honor. So, Mr. Araman, all right, so what happened? Let me get this straight, if I'm understanding you correctly.
You seem confused a lot.
I appreciate that commentary. Why did the kidnapping fail?
Because the cops.
Objections.
Yeah, like what?
Okay, never mind. I'm just gonna object on speculation. How can he know what the kidnapper's mindset was? He was not a kidnapper. And why they made the decisions they made.
Your Honor, I'm not asking him to delve into the mind of any of the kidnappers. I'm asking him, based on what he observed, why the kidnapping failed. I mean, he can. Again, he was a witness to this. He saw exactly what happened. So he can testify to why they stopped kidnapping him and what they did instead.
Objection.
Ramee Rahman is not an expert kidnapper. Therefore, he would not necessarily know whether someone was successful or not, or why a kidnapper would stop kidnapping.
I'm gonna second that motion.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I feel like there's a lot of factors that could contribute to.
He's not asking
the
wrong
kidnapping
questions, chat,
failing.
but they're doing good by just
That's
fucking pissing
irregardless
them off.
of Mr.
Fuck
Ramee's
Oliver, dude.
input upon it. There could be a lot of factors here. We're not going to answer to one specific one for Mr. Ramee, so that's going to be sustained.
I think he didn't save the case, chat. I could have.
One second, Your Honor.
I could have answered that. It wouldn't have led nowhere. His job is to prove that that the gun isn't his. That they planted it on me.
Mr. Ramee, how did you know you were being kidnapped?
Well, when you have guns to your head telling you to get out of the car and put your hands up, you're being kidnapped and telling you, and I got told to go towards the car or the motorcycle. I'm sorry, to get on the bike.
Did these people take anything from you?
No.
Were you injured at this scene?
Yes, I was.
How were you injured?
I was injured emotionally. Seeing another guy get shot right in front of me. It did something to me. You know, it's... I think if you see somebody get shot right in front of you, you know, you feel a certain way and, you know, you get traumatized, you know?
Did you attempt to defend yourself?
I had no chance to defend myself. I had guns to my head. I stated for the 55th time.
Were you armed at all?
You can look on your police report and see if I had anything on me.
Okay, you stated Mr. K was shot. Did Mr. K attempt to defend himself?
Well, once again...
I'm actually going to
Go ahead.
object on scope here because we didn't discuss that at all, and stand your ground has not been invoked at all. I'm also going to object on relevance. Also, GSR negative.
Rebuttal.
Rebuttal. You can defend yourself with your fists, a melee weapon, kicking, punching.
Objection, Your Honor. I value my life.
Yeah, that's what I'll. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead if you had anything else to say to rebuttal.
Well, I was gonna say to that effect. I mean, Mr. Ramee stated this was an emotional situation. You know, judgment can get clouded in that type of thought process, Your Honor.
I'm just gonna
Damn,
object on
Ramee.
weird.
The hell is she saying?
Are you that? Are you emotional?
Wait, what? I'm not gonna
Like
lie.
you-
I don't even know what the hell she'd be saying sometimes. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just
nah,
objecting
She
on
just be
weird
saying
right
shit
now.
just to say shit sometimes. You know what I mean?
I'm not even gonna
Just
consider.
listen,
I'm,
yeah,
not-
Your
Good to
Honor.
listen.
Literally.
I'm not gonna consider the weird. Nah, no. That's gonna be sustained. Well, because you're asking if the defendant had anything to defend himself, correct?
If the defendant attempted to defend himself during this incident at this quote-unquote scene.
And what was the objection again? The first one, not the other one.
Based on the testimony we've already heard provided, where there are guns to people's heads, and Mr. K has already been shot, right? I'm doing an objection weird. I'm also gonna add doing one more objection. I'm gonna say more prejudicial than probative. There's literally been no stand, and also relevance. There's been no stand your ground invoked here. There's literally no evidence to back this up. It lacks foundation. Oh, throwing lacks foundation too.
Congratulations, guys. Go get that $100,000.
Okay, I think we have a bit of a timeline confusion here. I think you need to back up your timeline a little bit, counselor. I'll Clark Control. Say it again for me.
My name is Contralto, Your Honor.
Contralto, thank you. I think you can back it up a little bit because I think the confusion is on what is the timeline, when did this happen, and I think we're jumping in between timeline a little bit. I think you went from talking about when Ramee got kidnapped, and then you're backing up to when Mr. K was able to defend himself. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and I think you can do that in a different line of questioning. I think again, if you wanted to do that, I think you might have been able to call him up as a witness for your part of the trial. However, that is not anything related to the scope. When we deal with that timeline jump, the scope sort of differs. And now it's differing to questions that have not been heard before, as by the defense's direct line of questioning. So that's going to be sustained on scope specifically.
Okay, Mr. Ramee, how did Mr. K get inside the car?
By opening the door.
So Mr. K got inside the car himself?
When you got originally in the car, yeah, you open a door to a car. You hit the knob and then you get in the seat.
Okay, I'm just gonna object on vague and confusing because it's obvious it's not clear to what incident the counselor is asking about now.
Actually, Your Honor, we're referring to the quote-unquote scene.
Well, you put that in your
witness,
sentence when you question me.
I did. The witness testified to, and the car that was mentioned by the witness.
You never said it on scene. How did Mr. K get in the car? You asked me, how did Mr. K get into a car?
I got it, Ramee. I got it. Damn, Ramee, you're really giving me no choice.
All right,
man.
go ahead.
Ramee, calm
You
down.
can give me a 5K.
I'm
It's
instructing.
fine, honestly.
I'm gonna instruct
It's cool.
my witness to just the defense's witness to just calm down so we do not get a contempt. I'm sorry, Your
This
Honor.
lady's fucking annoying, bro.
No, I think it's far too late now.
Okay.
Ramee, you will be receiving a contempt of court.
Yeah,
for
no
50
problem.
Months, $5,000 fine.
50 months? Damn,
50
bro.
months.
All right, no worries.
I'll take care of it, Your Honor, afterwards. No problem.
Thank you. Your input was needed as well. Let me say to you, counselor.
It's minutes.
50 federal time.
Thank you. 50 federals.
Yeah, they're gonna be so focused on Mr.
Let me
K
say to you,
leaving for the
counselor,
war,
that,
they don't care about
I
it.
do
Not even worry
see
about it.
where you're going for. I'm just going to be blunt as possible. Please put the timeline before the questions because we are getting very confused on where you're talking about. We don't know if you're talking about before the scene, during the scene, after the scene. When I need you to be a little bit more specific as to the time in which you're specifying to for the question, okay? Because there could be several points in which he can get in and out of a car, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Be more specific. That's going to be
Mr.
sustained. Ask the question.
Mr. Ramee, at this scene, at the point in time when the kidnapping initiated, in your words, or started, let's say, the vehicle that Mr. K was found inside.
Yeah.
How did Mr. K get inside that vehicle?
Got put into the car.
Who put him into that car?
Guys that shot him after they fucking robbed him.
Was it one specific person from this group or multiple?
For the 45th time, they were all kidnapping me and shooting and going through K's pockets.
Was Mr. K incapacitated when they put him in the vehicle?
Okay, I'm gonna object on asked and answered.
Yeah, no, that was specifically in the direct line of questioning is what I'm reading here. It was asked. So yes.
The one about Mr. K being incapacitated when he was put in, Your Honor? Specifically,
Yes.
Okay. Do you know why Mr. K was placed in the driver's seat?
Objection, speculation. He's not going to be able to answer as to why other people took their actions. He is literally not the correct person to ask this question to.
There's another word I think for the objection that you're trying to say.
Yeah, there is, but I just slip of the tongue. It's somewhere there. It's not. Speculation for now. I'm gonna try to think of the other one really fast.
Please think of it. That is going to be overruled.
Okay, it's Can you ask the question one more time?
The question was Mr. K incapacitated when he was put in the vehicle? And then that was followed up with why?
Do you know why he was put into the vehicle?
Yeah, why he was put into the driver's seat, correct.
Does he know why he was put in? Does he know why the kidnappers put him into the driver's seat?
Yes,
I'm gonna go back to the objection of a layperson. He is not an expert kidnapper. He would not know why kidnappers did stuff.
Your Honor.
And also, I'm gonna object on weird for reasons that I think Your Honor should know.
I don't care about the weird in that sense.
Okay.
Your Honor, I would rebut with he knew to the extent that they were being kidnapped. I'd like to know if he knows why he was placed into the driver's seat.
Okay, then I will. I'm gonna object on hearsay as
There we
to
go.
whoever did that not being here.
Don't
I
need
did
to hear
it.
the, don't
I
need to hear
found
the
it.
argument. Yes, hearsay is the correct objection, and
Sorry,
that is going to
I'm
be
not a
sustained.
practice, Your Honor. Thank you for your patience and kindness.
Yep, so hearsay is going to be you're asking him what he knows why another person did something. That is hearsay.
Okay. Mr. Ramee, at this point in time when Mr. K was placed into the vehicle, did any of these kidnappers attempt to get into that same vehicle?
Compound question. Fucking object. Please.
Alright, I'm gonna object on scope.
Thank you.
Rebuttal. The scope was just opened up through my questioning right here, and we're just adding the foundation to that.
I'll give it to her. Overruled.
Alright.
You repeat
Thank
it.
you.
At this point in time in the scene, we were going through the questioning. Mr. K was incapacitated, placed in the vehicle. Did any of these kidnappers you mentioned attempt to get into that same vehicle?
I don't recall. I was getting taken hostage.
Were you looking away from the vehicle?
What?
Objection relevance?
I'll withdraw and I'll re-ask. Mr. Ramee, is there any specific reason you would not recall?
Objection? Badgering the witness?
Rebuttal. What are you trying to get at with this question?
Well, I'm asking if any of the kidnappers attempted to get into the vehicle that Mr. K was placed in the driver's seat of. They're going with the line of answers that this was a kidnapping. I think it's within reason to figure out if they were then going to try and get into the vehicle and transport the vehicle or something to that effect, Your Honor.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Your Honor, I'm just lost at this point.
Yeah.
I'm
You're
gonna throw in
trying-
an asked and answered objection too.
Are we
Sorry.
in two different court cases?
And Your Honor, so what I'm saying is,
Is
he's
this an
saying
interrogation?
he doesn't recall if anyone tried to get into that vehicle. And I'm asking, is there a reason you didn't recall? Maybe he was forced to turn around, for example, Your Honor.
All right, and I'm gonna keep my objection on asked and answered. He had already stated that he was being kidnapped at that point in time, which includes a whole host of myriad of things that are occurring during a kidnapping, which he's already spoken to about the gun to his head, etc. As your honor stated, emotions may be high, etc.
Rebuttal. And as prosecution, we're trying to narrow down exactly what that is.
This is an appeal.
Okay, I'm done with this. I don't think that frankly, to be honest, I don't think the question needs to be asked. And the argument is becoming a little unnecessary. I got your previous question. Your previous question makes sense. Asking why somebody does not recall would not do you any favors. So I'm going to sustain.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Ramee, you mentioned arriving at this scene in a vehicle. Did this vehicle you arrived in remain on scene?
I'm gonna object on scope.
Rebuttal. I believe that's wholly in scope, as the question came about, Your Honor. What vehicle did he get there with? He says he doesn't recall a car. Perhaps he recalls if the car that he doesn't recall which car at least remained on scene.
All right, I'm gonna add a relevance objection
Holy
because
fuck.
we're here for criminal possession of a government-issued firearm, no additional charges. So I'm gonna add the relevance objection. I don't
More
see
arguments.
which vehicle being important.
I heard recall
No more
5
arguments,
times.
Let me think.
Okay, thank you. I'll be quiet.
Or if you have a cigarette.
Yeah.
You got one, please. Holy.
Okay. I do think that the scope of this was brought in a little bit.
Oh
with
my
the,
fucking God, please.
prosecution's cross.
Save me from this.
They specifically, when they were
Jesus.
talking, when Mr. Hall was talking about which car was it in the red car, which led to a lot of do not recall there. To be exact, we have about 7 times that I have on record in which Ramee has said do not recall. Yeah, we're going to deal with that later. I think it's still relevant to know in pertainance to this court, just to have any timeline set up with these cars, because there are so many talk about cars within this questioning alone, that I think at this point we're just going to let prosecution get a little bit of leeway. So I'm going to overrule it.
Okay. Can I ask concessions? If I don't have food after being smacked, I'm gonna
Concessions.
pass out.
All right. Please ask the
Thank
question
you.
again exactly how you
please?
asked it. Okay.
Mr. Ramee, you mentioned arriving on the scene with a vehicle. Do you know if the vehicle remained on scene anywhere within that scene?
Oh my.
Okay, I'm gonna clear.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Holy fuck, Your Honor, please.
The vehicle that you arrived on scene with, she's asking you, did that vehicle remain on scene? It was the vehicle that you
I don't
arrived
know.
in,
I don't
stayed
know
on
if
scene.
a tow truck driver came in and cleared it up. I have no idea. You're what prosecutor?
Yeah, I'm just gonna object on speculation, but you already got that. Objection withdrawn.
Eating food, man.
Mr. Ramee. Did kidnappers ever attempt to get you inside of any vehicle?
Just asked and answered.
Wait, I'm sorry. Can you repeat the question? I was really trying my best to listen, but for some reason my brain tuned it out. I have an auditory processor.
Already
disorder.
answered this
Please don't
question,
be
by the way.
ableist. Can you repeat the question?
Please repeat
Counselor?
the question. Yeah.
If kidnappers attempted to get Mr. Ramee inside of any vehicle during the kidnapping?
All right, I'm gonna object on asked and answered, and he quite literally testified to this under direct.
Yes, he did.
Okay, I'll withdraw that, Your Honor. If you could just give me 1 minute, Your Honor, please.
Yep. Go ahead.
Why are they asking the same question?
This is crazy. You need a cigarette, Your Honor?
I don't even know what has
Nah,
happened.
I got my rejuvenation right here.
Fuck yeah, man. Fuck yeah. Am I on trial or what's going on here? What's going on?
We're at a trial.
Oh shit! It's Jonah Hill.
The prosecution is done questioning this witness, Your Honor.
Thank fucking
All right.
God.
Thank you.
Anything on
Holy-
redirect?
Yeah, I got one. I got
Oh
something
my
on
God.
redirect. Sorry, give me
Fuck.
one sec.
Oh, Siobhan, please.
Also, how many witnesses do we need to go through?
That's it, right?
This is going to be it, Your Honor. In the interest of
God.
expediency, I'm not going to place Mr. K on the stand. He will not be testifying his own defense. He will be invoking his right to remain silent against self-incrimination that is declared under the Arizona versus Miranda underneath our established case law and the Constitution.
Wow, you said so many words there. Thank you.
I know. Yeah, I can't say Fifth Amendment because we don't have a Fifth Amendment. We just have Miranda for the right to remain silent. So you know what I was trying to say.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, great. Sorry, give me 1 sec to look at my notes because I had one question. Okay, just one. Was the car in question that Mr. K was placed into, was that a Sarge, not a Tesla? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Just wanted to clarify that from some other earlier testimony. No additional questions for Mr. Rahman at this time.
Mr. Rahman, you may get to
Thank
step in.
God. Holy.
If you would like to serve your contempt of court warrant, you may do so at this time.
Well, can I have served my 50 months in this line of questioning, Your Honor? Because that felt like jail.
No, you are not in prison. I cannot
Okay.
do that.
Okay.
Court
Your
Slacks
Honor,
is biting at his legs to try to get to you. Look at
we
him.
will be saving our highlighting of evidence. We will just handle it in closing for expediency.
Fantastic. Can
I
we
will
go to
send you the
closing now?
Yeah, I'm ready to go into closing, and I will send you a copy of the closing statement for your convenience and review for during deliberation after.
That's nice of you.
50 months is wild,
my
bro. What
best
the
to help you.
fuck?
All right,
He ever
prosecution.
does that.
Are we ready to proceed with closing?
Yeah, we're good to go, Your Honor.
Can you do that same thing? Can you send me your copy of your closing? Is that possible?
Well, Your Honor, I believe we're gonna submit like a bifurcated closing. I think myself and Feltro may have things to add. I think she might have a written closing, but I don't.
Okay, that's fine.
Yo, did Oliver Hall just admit that he didn't prepare for this court case?
All right, we are ready to proceed with closing this at this time whenever you're ready, counselors.
I'm sorry, can we just have a brief recess before closings?
How long is brief?
Like
2-3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you guys didn't waste our time enough already. Go ahead.
Yo, Vinny, check Twitter.
Ammunition. There was no other pistol found on Mr. K, and throughout this whole case, defense has not made any affirmative defense claims suggesting that Mr. K reported any original handgun missing or reported one missing in at least an attempt to explain why he was in possession of this ammunition. Are we to believe that Mr. K had a non-PD fire on him originally, and after a mysterious rifler planted the gun, while then taking the non-PD gun with similar
I don't normally object, but I'm
compatible
objecting to a
ammunition?
mischaracterization of testimony.
As to what?
Completely.
Yeah, towards the statements of what the defense is trying to say that these bullets just
Dude,
came
I
out of
literally
nowhere, and
had
the
like
defense is
100 mags
arguing
and
that
like
he had
tons of
some
ammo
sort
in
of
my fucking
civilian
pockets
firearm.
when I got some.
We all know that that
Literally.
is not the case. That is a complete mischaracterization of testimony and what has occurred and what the defense has done.
Rebuttal.
Rebuttal.
We are simply posing, then what is the explanation for this ammunition?
Fine, yeah.
in our closing.
Siobhan, I went on scene and I went on the stand and said something.
Yeah,
else.
that's going to be overruled. Not only do I hate objections and closings, but also she's not referencing a testimony as being not the case. She's saying that there was no testimony to begin with.
Oh yeah, for the legal
there's-
ammunition. Got it. Yeah.
Yeah, for the legal
Dude.
ammunition. Yeah, please don't start. So that will be a overruled at this time.
All right,
And
sorry, Your
also,
Honor. I normally
check-
hate doing objections during closing. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I felt the need to. I will try to not do it if I
You're
can.
fine. It's allowed. It's more so allowed in the closing.
It's
than the
BM.
opening, but
It's BM though.
it is BM.
I'm sorry for being BM.
I'm not gonna.
I
Tweet that.
apologize,
Fuck that.
Counselor
Hell
Contralto.
no.
Please
They're investigating it. You just heard Slack say that.
This mysterious rifler decided to include ammo, but why the need? If quote setting Mr. K up or the
Fuck
premise
that.
of setting Mr. K up, as the statement of probable cause may have suggested, was the goal, all one would have to have done is throw the PD Glock into his pockets and dip. Your Honor and the court, we simply cannot believe this. No explanation was made to account for this. And that is why the prosecution has saved this for the closing. Defense had every opportunity to do so and bring up this line of questioning, nor was there any narrative to explain this situation I've just provided. They simply want everyone to believe that this unlikely circumstance occurred and to take their word for it. The facts and circumstances do not even line up for an affirmative defense to lean on.
Yeah, this shit hard
In this
on
matter, the defendant is guilty
Shit's
beyond a
fire,
reasonable
bro.
doubt. A mark that was already met from officer testimony and physical evidence alone before any trial even took
This
place.
shit hard.
Mr.
Fuck
K
yeah,
was
man.
found in possession
This shit
of a PD
fire
Glock.
on you, bro.
And the only person factually known to have been near and in contact with Mr. K at this scene was Ramee Rahman. And
what?
Mr. Hall will add some closing.
Thank you, Your Honor. I hope it's okay. I do have a couple other things to add. Yeah, we just want to clarify to build off what Ms. Contralto during the trial today. Has any motive been presented to?
I'm sorry. Can you hear Oliver? I don't hear him.
Classic Oliver,
The
dude.
defense's
Fucking.
argument. This gun was again. Does it really make sense? Is it really a reasonable theory to believe that the people that wanted to shoot and kill the defendant would give him a gun? We just don't have any evidence to support that that theory makes any sense. We don't know the individuals that shot him. But that also begs the question, why was there a shooting? I mean, clearly based on the testimony of Mr. Al-Rahman, these individuals were attempting to apprehend and kidnap Mr. Al-Rahman and the defendant. And if that was the case, why was there a shooting? Why would they just shoot the defendant on scene? It only makes sense if while they were attempting to kidnap the defendant and Mr. Al-Rahman, he pulled out a firearm that he already had on his possession, a police-issued firearm, and pointed it at the other individuals in self-defense, whereafter they started
Siobhan.
shooting at him. That is the only explanation.
Mary
that makes
already
sense based
testified
on the
on
evidence.
Mary's
It does not make sense
statement.
that they would walk
argues
up
her
after
his
they
entire closing.
just shot him and tried to throw a firearm on him, and there's simply not enough evidence to support that is what actually happened. See, I think one of the points that really has been lost in this trial is that the defendant was in possession of a government-issued firearm, a very serious.
She said, "Yeah,
offense,
not
and
no."
there's seemingly no explanation from the defense.
Oh no,
as
she
to
said,
why
"I know." She
he
said,
could
"I know."
reasonably expected to lawfully possess that firearm.
And these guys are fucking idiots. They're saying
He
that I
was
put the
found
gun
on
on K.
scene
So
again
yeah,
of a
it's
shooting.
planted.
He was found in possession of that government-issued firearm. And the defense may have you believe that he was the victim, but it's simply not supported by the evidence. You heard it from law enforcement that testified. As soon as the shooting started, they jumped to the scene. They got there as quick as they could, and what they saw was a defendant in the driver's seat of a stolen vehicle. All the vehicles were leaving the scene, of course, which makes sense. It was a shooting. You're going to flee. You're not going to stay on the scene. But what happened was law enforcement got there. They didn't see any of this rummaging or anything like that. But what they did here and collected the statement of Mr. Svensson, who told law enforcement what happened. Unfortunately, he didn't testify at trial today, but his statement is still credible. And his statement was that he saw the defendant pointing a firearm at the other individuals on the scene, whereafter the shooting took place. And that is the explanation of events that makes the most sense, that's based on the evidence. I also want to talk about the testimony we heard from Mr. Al-Rahman. Now, he did testify that he saw some rummaging, that he saw the individuals kidnapping himself and the defendant. They started going through the defendant's pockets. But conveniently for him, there are huge gaps in the rest of what happened from his memory. He can't tell you what the other individuals are doing. He can't really tell you why they were doing it. And the gaps in his memory only benefit the defendant.
Really insane.
And we know based on the evidence why that is. I'll finally say that even if you're to accept parts of the defense's theory, there's a crucial piece of evidence that's missing. And that's the only person that could tell us what the defendant had in his possession prior to the shooting. And the only person that could tell us that was the defendant. Now, we can't make any inferences as to what his testimony could have been, but we don't have any evidence to support that the defendant was not in possession of the firearm prior to the shooting. And the only one that could have told us that
is this guy dumb?
is the defendant.
This guy literally
The
just
fact
threw.
that testimony is absent from this trial means that there is simply not enough evidence to support that these individuals, even if they did shoot him, even if they were involved, that they then planted this police-issued firearm on his person. There's simply no evidence to support that, and for that reason, we ask that you find the defendant guilty. Thank you.
Did you just say they don't have any evidence?
Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen of the court, Captain Slacks admitted under oath that they did not detain and GSR test
Yeah, I'm
every
gonna go pee. I'll
suspect
be right
on
back.
scene. If that's not reasonable doubt when Mr. K and Ramee were both negative, then I don't know what is. It was a shots fired call. They did not issue shots. Mr. K has lived a life of integrity, evidenced by the absence of any felonies or significant misdemeanors prior to his allegations. He had a clean record. This clean legal state is a testament to Mr. K's law-abiding nature and good character, starkly contrasting with the current charges. Ramee as well has been persecuted and prosecuted in this court despite not being charged and treated as a criminal de facto. Mr. K, an upstanding entrepreneur, does not speak like an idiot, and yet that is the slanted statement the PD took in evidence. Even simple turns of phrase and grammatical structure, like me and blink, were inserted versus name and I. His words were paraphrased to demean, demoralize, and denigrate Mr. K. There is something rotten up in Denmark and in Los Santos. The bias in this report reeks to high heavens that the statements that are so within contained cannot and should not be taken as gospel truth or even remotely close to factual. The fact that the police department took the extra steps for this paperwork to make Mr. K look bad is defamatory. It is using the state's resources to silence and censor an individual undeserving of such treatment when the justice system is innocent until proven guilty. But the PD took one look at the scene, saw Mr. K, and assumed guilty until proven innocent. His medical was interrupted to search him and perform a GSR test. This test was negative. He was shot. Where is the gun that shot him? It was placed on his person. The evidence reflects this. If incapacitated people are guilty of the crimes that others have committed against them, then this state is a joke and lacks the most basic foundational principle. Let the punishment fit the crime. To do otherwise is a gross abuse of power and a violation of the inalienable rights that we are endowed with by our Creator. To whom much is given, much is expected, and the PD has failed. Admitted under oath that they did not GSR test or frisk every suspect on scene for multiple officers for a shots fired call. The only suspect they picked up was the victim who was GSR negative. Officer testimony admitted they did not GSR test Barry Svensson as an oversight under oath. Mary Mushkin's statement in the report flies in the face of everything opposing counsel stated in their closing. I'm going to say this now. Someone else in this courtroom was set up and framed around the same time with similar circumstances, including ammo, and exonerated against Councillor Hall's wishes despite exonerated evidence being provided after the fact. This is reasonable doubt, Your Honor. There is reasonable doubt. My client cannot be found guilty. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you so much. I feel like I finally have some rights. I'm treated like a human being.
All right. We have a lot to think about. I have a lot to think about here.
Just going to bring up that motion for the fruit of the poisonous tree again. I know you said you handled it in deliberation. Just wanted to bring it up for the record.
Yeah, I have it.
Thank you. Great. Love you. Appreciate that. Thank you. Not going to tell you to do your job. Appreciate you.
We appreciate you if you didn't know.
Don't really love you back.
Thank you, Honor.
Don't love me back?
We've already
Not
said
even
it,
a truly
Slacks.
Christian way?
Thank you, Honor.
Slacks, we already said it's enough.
Platonically, sure.
Thanks. That's all I wanted.
I would like to remind everybody of the court here today that we are here to see whether or not that the charges are beyond a reasonable doubt, if they are proved to be beyond a reasonable doubt. And that is what I need to deliberate on, and that is what I need to come to a decision to. We've heard a lot of arguments here that might muddy the waters or enhance the vision, but at the end of the day, we need to know whether or not we can prove this certainly and undoubtedly beyond a reasonable doubt.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your
This
Honor.
means a lot to me.
All right, give me some time. Let me deliberate.
What happened?
I'm not deliberating in that corner. That's too awkward.
Thank you, Joe.
Ramee, come here.
But
I'm doing a bit more
Placing
than
a bar
that.
complaint against Oliver Hall.
It's
Are all
fucking-
three of us joining in on this?
Oh, hang on.
Hey,
I'm
based off what that dude just said right there,
Huh?
without a reasonable doubt, and just emphasizing that, just
Uh-huh.
I think we got this in the bag.
I think
There
we
is
got
so
this.
much doubt.
I feel good.
There's so much doubt.
I mean,
They didn't
That's a
fucking
really good
search
closing.
anyone or GSR anyone or detain anyone
Nope.
else except me and Ramee.
Nope. Nope. They look so bad.
I actually thought I was in an interrogation room.
As
Bro,
far as
I
your,
was like, I was Ramee. I was so confused where the fuck they're even going with you.
That was a really
They-
good closing.
so what happened?
Counselor Thoroughbred.
yeah,
You-
They
I gotta
didn't
go send that
have-
to the
That
judge.
was amazing.
They didn't have any, like, all their angles got shut down, so they said, fuck it, let's just try to blame Ramee for it.
They're just trying to cause confusion, and they were trying to say you gave me your gun. Like, what the fuck?
They're
And
idiots,
the whole
bro.
thing was, oh, he had ammo on him. Okay.
I didn't have ammo on me at all.
Oh, they're saying I had ammo on me. Like, oh, well, he had
Yeah,
ammo
yeah.
on him, so it's his gun. They never, like,
Classic,
even
they're just
mentioned-
trying to blame me. Classic. I'm just kidding.
Listen, I think,
I'm kidding.
I think
Classic,
you
blame
guys are-
Ramee. Fucking classic.
I think you guys are absolute scumbags. And
You look like his older
complete
brother, to be honest.
Degenerate
Might be his
pieces
older
of
brother.
shit. But I couldn't find you guilty in this.
Right?
No, bro, this whole thing was dumb as
Respectfully.
shit from the start.
Thank you. I consider that a huge compliment.
They never investigated anything. They just arrested me and then let me go and then arrested me when I was doing lawyer work in the PD the next day.
They fucked up by
Raided me,
even
found
searching.
nothing. Yeah.
Miss
I have that
Thoroughbred,
closing
your-
pre-written.
That was the
Yeah, so we're
best
gonna say-
closing I've ever heard. That was amazing.
That was that was fire.
All I had to do, so I pre-write every closing this way, like address the charge, address mens rea, address actus reus, right? Address those 3 points, and then I always include lofty quote, preferably from the Bible, and then include spicy zinger using opposing counsel's words against them. Always. That's the
fuck you
foundation of a
just
good
say?
closing argument.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what the fuck you just said.
Me either, but it sounds good and I'm with it.
I mean, you
feel
don't
like
have
you
to
think
think. That's
it
Robbie.
over.
That's
Siobhan, I'll
why
take
you're
your
the
word.
#1 lawyer and she's only #2. I mean, that's
What law?
you don't have to think.
No, whenever me and Siobhan do cases, she does opens and closings. I can't do those.
Yeah, I'm better at those, and you're better at questions. I think we handle it really well. We're actually we actually work
We
insanely well
fucking
together.
brother. She was getting so
but it's-
pissed because
it's
she
too
she
hard.
kept objecting. She kept getting sustained on her all your objections.
What you mean the opposing
I was
counsel?
starting to lose my
No,
mind.
I'm
on
saying
the
that
Ramee
girl, that lady.
Oh yeah, she was fucking losing her
She was
shit
getting
'cause I was
annoyed
fucking
because
objecting
every
so
time you
hard.
objected, the guy was sustaining it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I've never seen that many objections. That was great.
I
think
don't
it was good.
normally
She started off the
object
bat.
that much. I took off
Off rip.
the gloves in court today.
Off
I
the
don't
first
normally
question,
do
she
this.
fucking started objecting.
I've
They
had
fucked
gloves
up by
on in
not
court
calling
this
me up there.
entire time. Yeah, they did.
Hey,
They really did. They're so dumb. But yeah, I wasn't say I've had my gloves on in the courtroom this entire time. Today was the first day I took them off. Because
By the way, they're gonna try.
Oliver pissed
hey,
me off.
Zolo told me that cops said Slacks is telling cops to gear up to try to get you when after this.
Yeah, so I need a formation and escort out of here.
Okay.
But these motherfuckers,
You
they're
know
trying
the
to put me.
escape exits, Siobhan?
What?
Any escape doors out of here?
There's just the one door through the
One staircase down, right?
There's 2 staircases down. Oh, one staircase out of the 3rd down to the 2nd. Yeah, just one and then 2 down there.
What, man?
God, I hate to tell you guys this, but
Any closets?
if you ever do need a scuba tank, I can get them for you.
Yeah.
I want to
So by
go.
the way-
Wait, really? I want to go. I
I
want to take
do- I
Max.
do
I
wanna
want to take
scuba
Max
tank
scuba
too.
diving.
I really
So by the
actually
way,
do wanna- I've been
Malton
waiting
is
you
for
taking
a
this
while.
charging document I
That'd be
gave
a
him pretty
scuba tank.
seriously.
You better
Which
use
one?
it for
What do you
something
mean?
cool. That's all I ask.
The one the obstruction
yeah, I
case
gotta do
against
something very
all.
Oh,
long
good.
did they
Yeah,
last?
because
Yeah,
fuck,
fuck
Oliver.
Oliver,
He's
bro.
been so malicious
What was that,
prosecution.
Ken?
How long
want.
did they last?
I hate Oliver right now.
Underwater.
Oh,
I think like
I know why.
similar to
I know.
it's
I
same
know
kind
we-
of quality as the ones we
know
used
why.
like 5 years ago. They haven't.
Okay.
How
and they
much
take
are
a while
they?
to put on?
If we don't win this case, all right. If we don't win this case, then I have no words for the judicial system right now.
Bro,
I can get you one as a favor. I don't really sell them.
we're about to be cooked, bro. We're about to be. Oh my god.
If I get this 30
Mickey, I'm
Between her
taking
and him.
I'm
You know
taking
what I
y'all
mean?
out for dinner. Did I get this 30K
I'm taking
check?
notes on your participation
fine.
in the judicial process, Mickey.
Yo, come and get 5K
I know
of
that
it,
you've been
'cause we're trying to find
done
the guy.
2 court cases in 2 days as a
Thank you.
paralegal.
2 court cases in 2 days.
Hey, but
Yep,
if I
note that
lose
down.
this, we
2
can
and
just-
2.
Also-
2 for 2.
You put
And
it
did
on
you not hear
anyway.
those fire objections?
Yeah,
They're
yes.
Those
fire.
are good.
I actually
Those are
seconded
good.
one of them. It was such a good objection.
How many stars?
Hey, Ramee, are you running or are you doing your time?
How many stars, Siobhan?
Mine's a misdemeanor. It's only. I'm
How
just
many
gonna
stars? Like
do it.
gold stars for Mickey?
Yo.
Yeah.
Get lockpicks when you're in
He
there.
has
Do
5
electric.
gold
Yeah,
stars.
exactly.
5. Okay. Out of 5?
5 out of 5.
5 out of 5. All right. Got you down for 5 out of 5.
Dude, if she gets us ammo and magazines and that guy gets us scuba tanks, bro, we're gonna be unstoppable. Actually,
I know.
like actually unstoppable.
We could scuba, come up out of the water. shoot, and
literally,
fucking dive back
literally
down,
just go back down.
reload.
Actually.
We could find an underwater cave. We could just hang out in. It'd be our
Oh,
new head
hey,
quarters.
and hey, bro, fuck selling these guns. Let's just put them on Oliver.
Bro, let's just go live on a boat, and if we get scuba tanks and ammo, we get like thousands of ammo, and we just hold down the fucking
Like
yacht
actual.
out there.
I'm
Top
down, bro.
creatures, we just scuba away. We're gonna live in fucking Waterworld. You
We
see
just
that,
need
whole, that
the
movie,
only
Waterworld?
thing we need left is vests. That's the only thing we need left.
What's up, Kermit?
Did not miss.
Okay.
But I appreciate you getting the thoroughbred right. Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm trying my
it's a-
best here.
No, you are trying your best. Thank you. I just thank you.
I've never been married.
Well, I hope you find that special someone someday, Your Honor.
Well, thanks. All right. Do we all have all relevant parties that need to be here?
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Not sure where Captain Sachs or Officer Gray went, but I think we're good other than that.
Do they need to be here?
Not necessarily.
All right. Any
Richard
shits,
Ramos-
fucks,
Father.
bams?
Hope you're proud.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Oh, let me get one out. Fuck. Okay, I'm good. He asked if there's any fucks, shits, or dums.
Yeah. Do you have a fuck, shit,
Oh
or an
my
and or damn to
God.
say?
It's taking your shine, bro.
He is. He hates me and he takes my bits.
I know it's fucked up. It's rough. You should maybe take him to court.
All right. I'm starting this. I'm starting this damn thing.
Hooray! Thank you, Your Honor.
Ladies and gentlemen of the court, we have heard arguments for the appeal of the hearing for the product of the misstatement of and the statement of for the characterization of the lax foundation of. Let me be honest. Can we get a counter of how many times this court was objected? I'm gonna say we're gonna shoot for around 52. 52 times in which we heard objections. So great work. I want to thank both the prosecution and the defense for being so stagnant and pointed with their arguments, trying to make sure that they are in it and here to win it. So I'm giving props to both teams for that. I'm going to start how I do every case by reading the letter of the law verbatim, exactly how it is said, so that way we can all have an understanding of how the letter of law is stated. Criminal possession of a government-issued firearm the code reads, it is illegal to possess a government-owned or issued firearm without being a duly sworn peace officer who is currently on duty or off duty. This includes the firearms that LEOs purchase for their sworn daily duties. All right, piggybacking off of that. So, we're going to talk about the police procedure that was done here and whether or not they were legal or not. The police procedure here, as testified to both Mr. Slacks and Mr. Gray, was that they responded to calls of a shoot. Or I'm sorry, Mr. Johnson too. I forgot about that. Mr. Johnson, which he was a cop for. That police procedure that he did was that he responded to a shots fired call, an armed and dangerous call, a visibly dangerous and threatening call of a shots fired. They responded to that call. They proceeded to try to investigate the area, try to scope the scene out, and try to get more details. From there, the waters they start to muddy because I have a bit of a confusing timeline. No timeline here by both the defense and the prosecution was ever adhered to. We jumped between several different moments, which is very crucial
That's not good.
for establishing a timeline. I don't think that any merits of any timeline was met by either side here today. Because we have gaps, we have uncertainties and gaps within the timeline itself, which doesn't lead to timelines. I just want to clarify does not mean to gaps in the actual charge and how it's being pressed today, but the timeline is showing some doubt. Specifically, I want to talk about
This means the charge is going to stick.
Where he said there was a solid 3 to 5 minutes in which he did not get any backup. But I also want it to be referred to that he also began a chase with another individual in a separate car. The timelines got so hazy and misconstrued that it was hard
This is an
to
L
follow within this case. I had to piece it together as best as I could, and I think for both the prosecution and the defense side, I think further in other court cases and other testimonies, what's something you should learn from this is to always establish a set timeline and to make sure that each and every single piece of articulation is being backed up. All right, but we move to what did happen, which was a frisk was conducted upon Mr. K and Ramee, conducted by Mr. Gray, or sorry, Miss Gray. The police procedure in itself, I know it was testified to and argued against that the police procedure is underneath the fruit of the poisonous tree as it is not under the purview of the court of law, okay? We do not consider police procedure into a criminal appeal as it relates to specifics that were being done. We do argue it in civil case,
bro.
And I do think that there are some litigations here that could be met with a civil case. So I want to remind the courts here today that this could have potential grounds for a civil case to be heard. And
That's not huge,
that
Siobhan. He gets the charge stuck on him.
We have several arguments of Terry versus Ohio being mentioned, fruit of the poisonous tree being mentioned, due diligence not being met in the terms of the cop side for the medical treatment, for the medical care being disrupted. All of that has no grounds here. This is a criminal appeal. This is not something that we're going to decide here today. But I do urge the fact that can be issued into a civil appeal. With that being said, we're going to move to any doubts that was the police or that the police provided. It is known that having this gun proves the letter of the law for a fact. We have that it has proof because we have a picture on evidence of Mr. K having that gun. It was not corroborated against at all that he did not have the gun. We know that he has this gun, full form and factor. And I also would like to mention that in the appeal, it does say constructive possession. Constructive possession does not apply here.
What? Why?
Because constructive possession, it more so relates to a person's property or premise. If it is found within the car.
Oh, guess we're back to planting guns then.
Or if it's
He
found
lost.
within a home or something, that falls into constructive possession. This is not constructive possession. This is actual possession of a firearm. So, any thoughts about constructive possession? I did not weigh in.
That's fine.
I also want to mention
Fucking
Murphy
hell,
Braun's
bro.
case that was heard as in terms of precedent. Precedent is something that we take pretty seriously here. Terry v. Ohio, I already mentioned, is a precedent. Fruit of the poisonous tree is a precedent. Miranda is a precedent. These are all things that we have decided upon ourselves here in the court that sets bars for how we treat further cases moving forward. It is note that Murphy's case is similar in ideology between this case and the last. However, there is a lot of exigent factors. There's a lot of answers that do not apply. Murphy's case, he was not found for a period of time. That his timeline was different. Almost practically everything except for the fact that he had a gun on him was different. And I do want to point out
They
that
fucked him.
he is exonerated from those charges. That he, in appeal, that was not heard into appeal, and so the appeal was granted. So that cannot be used as precedent any longer. So
Owens,
we move.
Do you have something mobile outside?
Excuse me, sir. Thank you. I do want to also mention Mr. Ramee Rahman's testimony. I am personally very confused as to why Mr. Rahman was not called upon to the stand by the prosecution. I thought that that was an absolute missed opportunity. The testimony that Ramee provided from the defense's end showed a lot of lack of answers. It showed a lot of do not recall. It showed a lot of can't remember. From what we had a lot of weird argumentation. We have all that. I did not take any of that into consideration, of course. But I feel like it was an absolute miss for the prosecution to not have Ramee on the stand today. But at the same time, the charge is what we're working on. We have a bit of a shaky timeline, but we have absolutely fact that the letter of the law was proven. And we have virtually nothing for me that would not prove this beyond a reasonable doubt. So I will be finding Mr. K guilty of government-issued firearm at this time.
Why do I have a bunch of Republicans in the judiciary? A bunch of letter of the law Republicans.
What he said? I can't even hear.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sorry, can you repeat that, Your Honor?
Hold on.
He's
Your
guilty.
Honor,
They're
I have
guilty.
a question. I have a question.
Yes.
So, what happens when you get found with a PD gun on you?
Honestly,
Dumb fuck.
honestly, go for it.
What do you mean go for it?
Go for it, man.
He was just asking a hypothetical, Your Honor.
He a judge, that's why.
He was just asking a
with all due
hypothetical.
respect, fuck you. Fuck the whole PD. Fuck the whole legal system.
Where's
You all a bunch of
Spade? Where's
cocksuckers. You
Spade?
guys have lost
Mr.
the
K.
plot. Fuck
Shut
you.
the fuck
Shut
up.
the
He's
fuck
talking
up,
right
bitch.
now, man.
You guys fucking suck dick. You've lost the plot. And there's just no justice here. They've proven they didn't do any proper investigation to find out where the gun was from. They were given names. They didn't frisk him. They didn't GSR him. They didn't do anything. They didn't fucking raid them. They didn't do shit. Your law sucks. The DOJ sucks. The whole council sucks. Everything fucking sucks. And that's all I have to say.
Second.
Talk to the mayor.
Mr. K. Mr. K.
You mean Crane?
Mr. K. Mr. K. Mr. K. Stop running. Mr. K. Mr. K.
Looks like they went for the warrant.
He's been tackled on the ground. He's right behind us.
Okay, come here. Mickey, I want you to meet this man right here.
Nothing new.
Tackle, if you tackle me,
I couldn't see shit. Sorry, I didn't mean to look like I was tackled. I'm sorry. I couldn't see anything. I needed to bang my head against the floor. Holy crap.
I'm not jumping. Fuck them.
You good?
What's the radio, Vinny?